Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Transformers review, and today we're looking at the Studio Series 86 Slug, or Slag, mostly Slag. If you actually know this character, well, if you grew up with G1 Slag. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that whole debate right now. So, look at him. Look at him. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, and Daniel. We'll talk about that later. Before we get into detail of the figure, as always, let's start by looking at the box. So here we have some very nice artwork of him right here, and for some reason Daniel's riding him, even though that never happened in the movie, and he had zero affiliation with Daniel, and I said I'd get into this later. Side, back. Very nice, actually. Very nice artwork. Anyway. Here he is. Haha. For accessories, he comes with this blaster cannon thingy. Little pew pew man. Put it to the side. Yet again, so we can look at Daniel. Yay! Anyway, so I get the same feeling with this Daniel that I got with Wheelie with Grimlock. It's just why. At least with Grimlock, I understood why Wheelie came with Grimlock, you know, because Wheelie, you know, he's on Grimlock's back all the time. But why Daniel with Slag? I'm going to refer to him as Slag for the rest of the review, because it's just easier for me. Why Daniel? Like, his face is, like, all painted white. The whole thing is just white. It's literally just Exosuit Man. Like, you can't tell it's Daniel, other than the fact that the package says it's Daniel. I mean, he's got ball joints, he's got at least some kind of posability, but it's the same thing as Wheelie. It's just pointless. It's stupid. And I hate it. Moving on. So, posability. Arm, go out. Arm, ratchet forward. Arm, do a spinny spin. Arm, do a bend. And wrist, do a spinny spin. Head is on sort of ball joint, but can go up way far, like Grimlock. The dino head kind of gets in the way of the ball joint, so kind of just do your best with it. Let's see. Waist articulation, very nice. Leg goes that far out on kind of a soft ratchet. It's very nice. And then keep it back out. The knee bends here, but it bends again about up there for the transformation, but I'm sure somebody can figure something out with posability with that. Right there. I think this one is like the proper knee, and then this one is I don't know. And then there's a bit of ankle pivot. There's a thigh swivel too. Leg can go back about that far. It's about that far before the tail starts to kind of get in the way. And the wings can be moved however you want. These little frills can be put however you want. This one is loose on mine because through practicing the transformation, I accidentally popped it off a few times, and now there's a stress mark and even a crack in the plastic there. So that's really fun. I really hope that doesn't break. I really hope that doesn't break. I'm very scared. But yeah, let's get into some size comparisons, shall we? And here we have him next to the very obvious comparison of Studio Series Grimlock, and the not so obvious comparison of Studio Series Hot Rod, and also Earthrise Optimus Prime. And now it's time to get into the transformation. First, what you want to do is you kind of want to move the arms out like that, and then you want to turn the hands all the way around like that and just snap them in just like that. Do that same thing on the other side. And then what you want to do is, what I like to do with this is I like to start at the top and work my way down. So what I do is kind of move the backpack a bit, undo the dino head up here, and then move the head up just a little bit like that and pull this whole chest assembly down. And we want to pull the head all the way down into this cavity, lift it back up to form the bottom jaw of the dino mode. Then what you want to do is you want to take these two pieces here and kind of like bring them in on each other. I will show you best as I can. So make sure the dino head is up. You kind of just want to wiggle them, move the frills up a bit. You just kind of want to wiggle them into place best as you can. Just like that. Alright, do the same thing with the other side. I chose that side first because the other side is really tight for some reason for me. So, here we go. And it was doing this step that caused me to break the little thingy a few times. So then you want to just snap down the dino head and snap up the chest piece. Then what you want to do with all of this done, you want to move the tail out of the way best as you can. Work the ankle, or not the ankle, the waist rotation, like that. Then you want to move the, well, first you want to set up the leg. You want to move the ankle pivot down like that, pull this piece up like that, and rotate this part here, and then just close everything up. Same thing with the other foot. Just like that. And then you want to kind of put them like that, make everything easier. Move the leg up and bend both knee joints so it kind of sits flush like that. There is a little spot right there. There's a little tab. It'll just click right in. Theoretically, should just fit snug in just like that. Adjust everything as necessary. Same thing with the other leg. And just kind of have it sit there for a sec. Just like that. And then you want to come to the backpack here. Straighten out the tail, straighten out the everything. Have this back piece right here. Kind of just snug in there. These two gold pieces back here will go over little bumps in the leg like that. And then the tricky part, getting the tail in. Now, the tail, there is two little tabs on the side right here. And there's little holes that they go in between here. The tricky part is lining them up properly. Really at all. Like, not even the first time, just like lining them up properly at all. So what I like to do is do every step before that one to just make lining them up a little bit easier. Just like that. And that should be all set to be lined up. Right? Yep. There goes the first one, and there's the second one. Easy peasy. Adjust everything as needed. And there's little tabs there that'll hook onto the feet. Just like that. Adjust everything as necessary. Again, easy peasy. Please tell me I didn't just break that. Nope, we're good. Then you want to fold the wings down and set up the legs. The legs, there's a little thing back here. You kind of want to pull it like that so that that comes out. Fold out the other leg. I like to just have it go as far out as possible so it's just like flush like that. So it fits on the ground just like that. Cool? Cool. And we're almost done. Just one last step. Make sure the arms are all good. One last step. Take the gun. Plug it into the tail. It would have been nice if it was painted the same color, but you can't have everything. So make sure everything's all fitted together and all good and all happy. Everything seems okay. And here we have him in his dino mode. Look at that. Okay, so when I took him out of the box and I transformed him for the first time, My first reaction was, he is chunky. And I love it. I love how chunky he is. It's like, I I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I really love these Studio Series figures, these Studio Series Dinobots, because they do the scaling so right. They're just so, like, pleasantly huge, and I love it. There is a bit of articulation. The mouth opens, the head moves a little bit, but I'm scared to do that because the frill is gonna break. The arms have the same articulation. The back legs kind of like move a bit, and you can kind of just adjust them however you want. The toe moves, the rest of the leg moves. I like to just have it out all the way like that, so he's balanced. Cool? Cool. Alt mode size comparisons. And here we have him in Dino mode next to the Studio Series Grimlock, and I love this. This makes me so happy. And here we have him next to the Studio Series Hot Rod, which looks hilarious, honestly. And finally, next to Earthrise Optimus. So, what do I think of the figure? My final thoughts. I like it. I love him a lot. The whole controversy, whatever you want to call it, behind, oh, it's Slag, oh, it's Slug now. We changed the name to Slug, even though Sludge is already a Dinobot. We're going to change it to something that's close to that, but not quite. That whole thing, it does bother me that they changed his name. Because of something, like they changed it everywhere because of a meaning that it has somewhere else. You know, as far as I know, Slag only means a bad thing in is it Britain? I don't know. Somebody correct me on that. Somebody will correct me on that, even if I told them not to. But yeah, Slag only means a bad thing in other countries, in other places around the world. So why not just censor it there, is my question. And the answer to that, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's, who cares? It's a label on a box. Who cares? It bothered me for a bit, but now it's not a big deal. You know, like I said, at this point, it's just a label on a box. And, like, you know, with that whole argument, the Transformers reviewer, Thew, he put out a video as of the same day of me recording this, where he talked about the whole renaming thing. And he was like, well, there's other words that have double meanings, too, you know. That doesn't make one of the meanings less bad, you know. That doesn't make it, you know, whatever he said. He's basically saying, you know, other words have double meanings. Some of them are bad, some of them aren't. Whatever. It is how it is. Hasbro, whoever is in charge of it, Takara, whoever was in charge of it, made their decisions to rename it. At the end of the day, we got a really good figure. I know with my Grimlock review, I compared him to the original Generation 1 Grimlock. And I was going to do that with my dad's Generation 2 Slag, but I didn't feel like going downstairs to grab it. And I forgot. And I remembered it midway through the review. So, few things. This guy, the transformation, let's talk about that. The transformation is very nice, very pleasantly complicated. I have a lot of, I don't have any Masterpiece figures or any third-party figures. I have a lot of, you know, mainline Generations figures. Mostly Earthrise and Siege, but I've recently gotten some Kingdom figures. I got Beast Wars Megatron and Optimus, which if you saw the review for that, you know that. I recently got Kingdom Wheeljack because the paint and everything and some of the joints on my Earthrise Wheeljack were just there. It was bad. The quality control was horrible. It got to a point where before I got the Kingdom Wheeljack, I hadn't touched Earthrise Wheeljack in months because I didn't want to deal with it. So I got the Kingdom Wheeljack. It was $20. Who cares? And I gave the Earthrise Wheeljack to my brother, so who gladly took it. And then I have next review the Battle Across Time Sideswipe and Skywarp, which that's going to be fun to review because I got a little thing for Sideswipe. It's going to be good. What was I talking about? Right. It's pleasantly complicated, and it solves a problem that I had with modern kind of, well, not even modern, just like beast formers, I guess you can call them, in general, and that is that it's all done in like the upper area, like all the transforming is all done in the upper area, and then the legs, there's just like 2 steps. Like with Kingdom Optimus, Optimus Primal, it's literally all just in the upper torso, and you just have to do like 2 things for the legs, and that's it. Kingdom Beast Wars Megatron, same thing. You just have to like swap 1 thing over for the legs, and you're done. That is a bit of a problem for me, because I like the amount of steps to be evenly distributed throughout the figure. Like with Studio Series Grimlock, the legs of the robot mode turn into the tail, which is nice, which means everything isn't just up here, unlike the Power of the Primes Grimlock. It was bad. But then we go back to like Earthrise Optimus, and all you do is just like fold out some panels, close up the feet, and just fold up everything. And all the transformation is done in the upper torso. I know that's how it's always been with Optimus, minus the masterpieces. But you could have like added like 1 more step to conceal the wheels in robot mode, and then you could have gotten rid of this whole like gray molded plastic area. Sure, it would have been hollow, or no, it would have been filled in truck mode. But sure, it would have been hollow in robot mode. But you can put something there to fill in that gap like they did with Siege Optimus, which was really nice. Studio Series Hot Rod, of course, all the exhaust pieces back here, they all fold into his legs, which is really nice. But with Slag here, it's evenly distributed. It's very nice. There's a good amount of steps to prep the feet. And a cool thing you could do with the feet is if you go like that, if you fold out this piece, you get a G1 toy look, which is very nice. And then you can just fold them back in and get a more movie accurate look, which is very nice. I recently rewatched the movie. From what I can see from the limited amount of time that Slag is in his robot mode, that it looks pretty good. But final verdict, I like the figure a lot. I am terrified of that 1 piece breaking. I'm really hoping it doesn't break. I don't care about Daniel at all, wherever I put him. Oh, he's on my floor. I don't care about him. I get the same sadness and disappointment when I see him from when I see Wheelie. Because Hasbro was saying how like they want to eliminate plastic waste by not putting their figures in like plastic bubbles, I guess, anymore in the packaging. But they go ahead and make this. And I think this is like 5 or 6 boxes worth of plastic just on this. So that's disappointing. But for the rest of the figure, I love it. It's great. Definitely go buy it. It was the first figure that I've ever actually like pre-ordered and got on launch day. Well, close to launch day. But you know, Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope this doesn't break. I really hope this doesn't break. I just need to be really, really careful with this. But thank you all for watching. I enjoyed making this review, even though I had a bit of a hiccup in the first take. But that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.